Hi, you winners, and welcome to another Winning Wednesday. Now, I didn't have one last week, but that's because point number one is I did the RE7 escape room last Wednesday, so I wasn't able to actually do a Winning Wednesday. Last Wednesday was actually way more hectic than I was anticipating. So we did do that in Chicago. It was a lot of fun. It was surprisingly short. So instead of an hour-long limit that I'm used to for escape the rooms, and the one escape the room I've done, it was 45-minute limit, and we did it in a half hour, in 33 minutes. We took a picture. I put that on Twitter. If you guys haven't seen it, you totally should, because I'm short. Also because I think we were all pretty tired by the end. So everyone on the right side wasn't really smiling, including me. I was like sass face about how we did it. And then there's the people on the left side, my mom and Snuffles, who were smiling all happily. But we did it. It was a lot different than the escape the room that I did in Texas. Whoa, camera, calm down. And I enjoyed it for its fan references of Resident Evil. It definitely referenced not just Resident Evil 7, which I was surprised by, because it heavily starts getting into the STARS unit, and specifically there's points of Jill Valentine, who's not in RE7. So that was interesting. I don't want to give away too much on puzzles, but we did it. A couple of the people in my group would open up chests or boxes and then not take everything out. So it took us a while to figure out puzzles that would have otherwise been quicker. So I'm actually surprised that we were able to do it with us acting so slowly. But we probably could have done it quicker, knowing that everyone should have taken everything out of boxes. So that way we knew, like after you unlocked a box, they would leave half the stuff in there because they only knew what they needed at that moment in time, and then they didn't go back to it, so we never knew we had additional pieces to something else until later. So, but other than that, I think it was worth the money. If they are coming to you guys should totally do it. Get a group of 6 is what I think it is, and they are touring, so it's just different cities, different places every few months. So Chicago was this month. I don't know what's the following months. I know they're going to Texas. I know they're going to a few other places along the coast. So you should totally check it out if you guys haven't yet. But that's point number one. Point number two is a PSA from me, which is to take care of yourselves, because I learned that lesson the hard way this weekend, because on Friday night, which is why I did not stream. I didn't stream for another reason as well, just because I was so backed up in work in general. But I was working my body really hard last week with not only YouTube, but also with my work that I do here, that I have to actually commute to every day full time. And I don't know if it's the combination of that, with driving 40 minutes one way and then 40 minutes back for 5 days a week, on top of a desk job where I do graphic design, and I was off late every single day last week except for Wednesday when I did the escape the room. And then I come home and I do YouTube, where I play games with my arm resting on my desk. And the way my desk is, there's this cutout at the front, so I actually rest my arm here against my desk. So if you guys see sometimes during recordings, I'll like go like this and you see like lines in my arm because of where I've been resting it on the desk. I don't know if anyone has noticed that. No one's ever talked about it, but I always see it when I'm editing. Needless to say, none of that is good apparently for my body, and I need to take care of it a lot more than I have been. And that's kind of a warning to all of you guys. You guys should totally do the same. If you guys have jobs where you're sitting at a desk, or even if you're not and you're abusing your body repeatedly in the same way, you should probably stretch or try and even out the other muscles, so that way the other muscles aren't taking as hard of a hit. Like for instance, I went to a massage therapist on Monday to work out what was going on, and she basically told me like I was really tight here, which is probably from driving and from being at a desk and hunched over. And she said I have to strengthen my upper back muscles a lot more so that way I sit normally, like how I'm supposed to. I'm supposed to have a normal stature of straight spine, all of that jazz. So she told me like I need to start stretching these by like having my arm back and stretch out that way. There were hand things she gave me because I realized I forgot to say exactly the symptoms I felt, but on Friday afternoon or night, it's a good thing I took off the stream because after I was sitting at my computer editing, my arms all of a sudden fell asleep. It was like an hour or so after I started editing. I was doing a long editing session and just both arms asleep, like tingling, not like numb, but tingling, like the pins and needles feeling when one of your limbs goes to sleep. And I was like, I'm not asleep. Like, I'm not putting pressure on it, cutting off circulation, nothing. I'm just here, which it would make sense if my arm, you know, from here up was numb and I was cutting off circulation at that, but it was both arms and it was from my shoulder down. So that doesn't necessarily mean it was that, doesn't necessarily mean that it's always the computer or always driving, but all of that in combination, I think my body just went, stop it. Like, just a huge warning of, you need to start not doing all of this without doing other things to work it out or stretch it out or whatever. So I think it may have been a shoulder blade, like pinching a nerve, or it's in my arm. I know it's here too because I feel this every once in a while, like specifically around where I rest my arm. I feel a lot of tightness and like weirdness there. So my arm's still getting over it, but Saturday it got numb again. I was recording and an hour and a half into it, this was before I realized I was resting my arm where I shouldn't be for the last, 3 or 4 years. And all of a sudden my arms fell asleep again. So that's what really freaked me out initially. And then on Sunday, for those of you that were there at the stream, having my arms in my lap in the heat, and then with my lymphedema and all of that, it was like my hands just were really swollen all of a sudden. Not noticeably, like nobody on stream noticed, but like my rings weren't fitting. So I was like, this isn't good. So that's why I went to the massage therapist on Monday, and she worked out everything. She was amazing. Ow, I still hurt from the massage. She worked out my shoulders, my neck, and my arms, and she found tendons in my arms that I didn't even knew hurt, like in my forearms specifically. And she's like, you need to have more self-care, because since I don't take any time for myself, my body is taking all of the pressure and all of the abuse. So she was like, you really need to start doing these stretches 5 minutes every hour while you're at a desk, because that'll really help. So that way, if those of you that are having really high demanding desk jobs want to know, she told me to do a few things. She told me to do this. I didn't think would ever help, but she says it loosens up the muscles. It's not necessarily a stretch, but like hitting your hands together like this, but not hard, just enough to kind of like get the muscles and the blood flow moving. And you do it like on all sides of your hands. So it's just like weird ways, but like this is actually tender to do it like this because of the muscle. Stretches wise, she told me to do it this way, which I have been doing. But she also said if you have it close to your body and do it as well, that's a different muscle, or it's isolating the muscle. And then if you take your thumb and stretch it backwards slightly, none of this is supposed to hurt, by the way, but stretch it back, you can feel the stretch right along here, especially if you use a mouse and keyboard a lot. Like, ow, that stretch probably hurts the most. And then she told me, since my back muscles aren't very strong and since up here is really tight, she said to roll my shoulders back, never forward. So always roll it back and just kind of like get blood flow moving and tilt the head, kind of stretch the muscles a little bit, but not too hard. She didn't really focus on the neck because she said that that's for next time. So I learned a lot, and I'm hoping that this is a learning experience for some of you before it gets to the point where your arms fall asleep or get swollen or whatever. I'm still fighting that every once in a while. Like, I have to constantly be shaking my arms or like making sure I'm moving them and making sure I'm taking care of myself. On top of that, I wasn't getting much sleep last week with working late, with doing YouTube, with doing everything. So that also might have been combination 2, and it was just a lot last week. So that's why there weren't that many videos. If you guys were wondering why there was one video a day every once in a while, it's because there was just so much going on. I needed to take care of me and make sure I was getting sleep and that I was doing stuff for the betterment of my body. So, fun facts. I also got this, in case you guys are interested in something that could help if you guys are resting your arms on your desk, when, you know, cutting off circulation. I got this, which is basically, it's not height adjustable. It's meant to be level with your desk. It's slightly higher than your desk because it's supposed to keep your arm level with your mouse. So that makes sense, but it's weird because your arm is like, other than resting on this thing right here, other than resting here, your arm is floating, not touching the desk and then on the mouse. But that keeps your arm completely straight with your wrist, so you're not, it's supposed to help with like carpal tunnel or any sort of nerve pinches or arm pains or stuff like that. So I got this, and boy, does it help. Like, it actually really helps the numbness issue because I've noticed it doesn't happen as fast. I'm only resting it on here. I didn't realize how bad I was relying on resting on my arms until now. I also raised my chair, so if you guys notice in videos if like my microphone's not in view anymore, stuff like that, it's because I raised my chair so that way I'm higher up than my desk, so I'm not like constantly like shrugging to like play games. So there were a few things I did to take care of myself. So this is a PSA to you guys, that you guys should also take care of yourselves, because I know a lot of you game as well. A lot of you are in school. So school is also a dangerous thing since you're either sitting at a desk or you're always sitting at a computer, depending on where you're going to school. So just make sure you guys are getting up, moving around, doing stretches every hour, stuff like that. I know it's a pain in the butt, but your body will absolutely love you for doing it when you start doing it. So really, I would highly suggest starting now before you have numbness, pain, anything like that. And then freaking yourself out because it could be anything, because apparently your arms tingling is a lot of symptoms for a lot of things. So don't freak yourself out. Don't look online. Just take care of yourself. If you think you need to go to a doctor, go to a doctor. I was not at that point, but because it was happening due to repetition, I knew exactly when it was happening and why it was happening, and I could repeat it. I could have it happen again by doing the same thing. So I was seeing if I could fix that first, and if not, then I'd go to a doctor. And so far, it has been fixed. So I'll take it. But I thought that was really important to tell you guys, especially since that was most of my weekend. But other than that, we'll just touch up on playthroughs and live streams real quick. So for playthroughs this week, I have a few indie games that I already recorded and uploaded, but I also have the ending of Portal 2 co-op with Kita that I will be uploading Thursday and Friday, or should be. And then tonight, oh, there's my mom. I'm doing a Winning Wednesday. So my mom's here because we're gonna record The Walking Dead episode 3 because that just came out yesterday and we weren't prepared, so I wasn't prepared. So my mom is going to record that with me tonight, and I'll be uploading that the next few days. Also, apparently a game called Narcosis just came out, and Narcosis is an indie horror game about being underwater and is $20, but apparently only 2 to 3 hours long. If your interest is there, before I go ahead and get it or anything like that, or go ahead and ask them, hey, can I have a key, if that is something you guys want to see, because I don't want to do that unless you guys want to see it. Because I know John's already playing it on VR, and I don't have a VR, and I know a few other people are already planning on playing it, if not, have started it already. So, yeah, I want to make sure from you guys that's something you want to see, because it's really short, but for a lot, which is surprising. Usually people don't ask for that much unless it's a lot longer. So it must be worth it, but I want to know if you guys are interested. Also, One Shot just came out with an ending update, and I want to know what you guys think about it. If you guys want me, I would basically live stream the whole game all over again, because you have to replay the whole game to get to the new end. And it's apparently a lot more satisfying of an ending, seeing as the last ending made me cry my eyes out. So if you guys would be interested in that, I would need to be walked through what I do every single time, because I just want it to go by quick. I don't want to walk around searching for shit again and taking hours upon hours to do it. No, someone will probably be helping me out. I'll be going point A, point B repeatedly until I get to the end, and that will be blind for me as much as I can make it blind. I haven't seen anything yet. And then we'll do the new ending. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know. I'll probably throw up a poll to see what people want to see me stream this weekend, because that's my last point, is streaming. This weekend is up in the air. I'm planning on doing art again on Friday, but it just depends on how my arm feels. And Sunday or Saturday, I'm not sure, but I'm thinking Sunday, I will probably be doing one of these games. And I'm not sure which one you guys want to see. I'll throw up a poll again on Twitter. If you guys aren't already following me, you totally should, so that way you can vote. Otherwise, vote in the comments if you guys don't have a Twitter. But I'm thinking the 3 options being one shot and play, finish, beat that all in one go, or playing the horror game, Narcosis, if you guys would be interested in that. Again, it's supposed to be 2 to 3 hours, so that's about as long as a stream. Perfect time. And then the third option would be doing Rain World for another hour and then more Mass Effect Andromeda. So let me know what you guys want to see, because I have literally no idea what I should do or what to do or whatever have you. So yeah, I will leave the vote up to you guys since there's so many options all of a sudden. But now me and Mom get to record some Walking Dead for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. And again, in the comments, don't forget to vote. Otherwise, just let me know what you guys think about Narcosis in general or seeing One Shot in general. And then also, take care of you guys. Take care of yourselves, as I should take care of me. And I'll see you guys in the next Winning Wednesday playthrough, or whatever it is you guys watch. So keep winning, guys. Bye.